It's too little too late. Prince Gason was already discovered by one of the concubines. And what really annoys me with this, and I said it in my last reaction, is the fact that you know you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing based on that time period, but you could have hidden it much better. Like close the door, lock the door or something. But first of all, you're walking there so slowly, anybody could have followed you. And you thought you heard something and you didn't even um you didn't even go check to see if anybody was there. I don't know. It's kind of given like he doesn't really care if anything happens to him. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review on the Review Garden. You know what gets me? It's the fact that the the concubine, I'm guessing her last name is Ko. Um, subtitles say cohort Ko, and at least bring this whole issue up to his mother. Why do you go and bring it up to the queen dowager, right? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? First of all, you don't even have proof. You only saw it with your eyes, right? So she goes to tell the queen dowager that she saw the grand prince in women's clothing, right? So the queen dowager's like, are you certain that that's what you saw? Because if you're certain, then this child, will face death. But if you're not certain, then you're the one that's going to be facing, um, you know, consequences. And I could have, maybe. And I'm like, why are you even here? Huh? Why are you even here? How about you focus on your own son? I think her prince is Prince Simcoe or something like that. And I'm like, focus on your own child, woman, and then let his own mom take care of it. But obviously, everyone here is in a battle for their child to become the cohort to the crown prince. The queen did say that she was going to get rid of that room um, where Prince Gason was at. And I'm like, I kind of wish she got rid of it quicker because the Queen Dowager went into the room just to verify it with her own eyes and she was like disgusted. Um and she already don't like any of the grand princes, so she's not going to try to protect them. If anything, she's going to try to get him destroyed. And the only reason the queen didn't get to do that is because the crown prince fell ill again. So like he's really sick and they don't know how to really treat him. And going based on the journal that the crown prince um, kept about his sickness, his illness, um, before he used to faint or get unconscious like every other week or something, but now he's doing it like every 3 or 4 days, so which is dangerous, and he's also staying unconscious longer. So they need to figure out what to do for him. And right now the doctor was doing some acupuncture to see if that was going to help. And at the same time, the other princes, the cohort exam is currently taking place as well. And my thing with this is that the scholars that are grading their papers, they're very biased. Like each of the princes exams are going around one by one, and based on who the prince is, they're giving them outstanding or they're giving them outlandish answers. And the cohort exam was just three questions that they had to answer. One of them was a question that the king asked them out of nowhere, and the question was to draw a line in the circle to create two half moons. And many of them were very creative in their answers and out of the box. So we shall see which of the princes will be making it to the next round. And speaking of, the scholars being, choosing who they're giving the outstanding to, turns out that one of them is working with the grand with the with cohort number 2. I'm guessing the highest cohort, the one that is the mother of the firstborn, the king's firstborn child. Something shocking yet not shocking that happened in episode 3 is the fact that senior court lady Shin, the one that is the right hand of the queen, the one that the queen tells every little thing to, is backstabbing her with the queen dowager. She's telling the queen dowager every single little thing that's happening in the queen's quarters. And for some reason, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised because if you notice in the first two episodes, they were like, um, Court Lady Shin used to be the Queen Dowager's court lady. So I'm like, obviously, your loyalty is probably still to the Queen Dowager. So what happened with the crown prince's illness? They pretended that the crown prince went to a hot spring, um but in fact they just moved him to the queen's quarters. And she's over here telling the queen dowager that, oh, the crown prince is recovering. Yeah, she has him in there. The only thing she didn't spill is that the queen knows about grand prince Gaeson's situation. But other than that, she's just spilling her guts, and I'm like, what are you doing? And that's why, you know she was the one. She was available. I mean, she was there with what happened with Queen Dowager when she took over, because no one else is there. And when the queen was saying that, I'm like, isn't she one of the people that was there too? Yet she's still here. There has to be a reason why she's still here. And boom, next scene, she's in the queen dowager's quarters spilling her guts. And it turns out the queen dowager was going to, I mean, obviously the king didn't know anything about what Prince Gaesong was doing, right? So the queen dowager tried to go on a quote walk with the king to kind of show him that there are certain parts of the kingdom that he doesn't know about, part of the palace that he doesn't know about, right? And then the queen dowager, I mean, the queen was joining them on this walk. But I guess they already knew what the queen dowager was going to do, so they went and set fire to where to the little house that Prince Gason had all of his makeup and the clothing. So when the king and the queen dowager got there, everything was in flames. And, the grand prince had already gotten there like maybe 5 minutes before, and he saw everything go up in flames. And, he was crying because that's his space. But that's my thing with this whole situation with him, right? He's not very careful about what he's doing. And even when he's walking on his way to the thing, he's walking very slowly. He doesn't look behind him to see if anyone's following him. He doesn't lock the door. And my other issue is the fact that the queen didn't communicate with him that she found out about what he's doing, and talking to him and be like, hey, if people found out about this, it would not be good for you, you know? Because that's the whole reason the Queen Dowager was gonna put the king, let him know, because she doesn't care about the Grand Prince. So she wanted him to get in trouble. And I'm like, the Queen needs to talk to the Grand Prince and tell him, hey, I know what's going on. Like, this is not safe for you to be doing. Like, take a break from it. Instead, she tries to like have him take a break and not communicate exactly why. She's having him, study with the brother. And I'm like, you need to tell them what's going on. That's the only way they'll actually listen to you and want to help you. If they've never done something, you just yelling at them and telling them to do it is not going to make them do it. You know what I mean? Just like studying to become the cohort and all of that. So after the fire happened, the queen dowager went to go see the queen because she's prepping for the banquet, for a banquet that they're going to have the next day. And, she's pretty much putting force on her, and the queen is putting force right back. And she's like, you better well, the queen dowager came on strong and was like, I see I was a step behind, because fire was already set. And she's like, fire blazing is not common, and usually with fire, that means that there's no evidence, nothing. So that usually means that nothing happens. And then the queen dowager is like, you better focus on healing my grandson that you have in your quarters first, before I take all your little grand princes and switch them with ones that are actually more valuable. So out of the queen's kids, the only one she cares about is the crown prince, which she has told her numerous times. And then the queen's like, I see you have a knack for taking the children of concubines and putting them up to be king. And she's like, I did it once, I could do it again. The grand prince did find out who set fire to his room. Um and then, he went to his mom and told her, why couldn't you just ignored it? You you know, you found out about my identity and you pretty much destroyed my identity. And I'm and she told him, yeah, you were being careless and you weren't thinking when you were doing this. And you know, she took him out and pretty much brought a dress for him, got his hair done with the makeup, and had someone paint his picture. And I'm like, and then I got to think about it, and I'm like, other shows, they've had, whether it was the crown prince or the grand prince, they are able to go outside of the palace and people don't recognize who they are. They're able to do whatever they want outside. No one knows who they are. So why didn't he choose somewhere? I'm not gonna be like, okay, he has a lot of money, but he probably gets an allowance. How did he afford the makeup? He had to have gone out to buy the makeup. It couldn't have just appeared there, right? He had to have done something to get the makeup there. So why couldn't he get a room outside of the palace to do it? You know? Then he wouldn't have had that situation where the main person, which is the Queen Dowager, to know about his secret, right? And I think that also the Queen should tell him that the Queen Dowager knows about his secret and that it's gonna be very dangerous for him in the palace, you know? And the other thing is the fact that the Grand Prince was one of the princes who made it past the first round in the cohort selection. So now you don't know what they're going to do just to try to get him eliminated from the second round, you know? So right now his life in the palace is in danger. And the only person that's really on his side is his mom. It also seems like someone else knew of Prince Gaesum location because Grand Prince Sungnam also knew of the location and he saw his mom, heading out of the direction of the fire. So that was so the question is, does he just know that, his brother went there, or does he know what the brother was doing as well? You know? And in this episode, you saw that she allowed him to, well, it was probably in episode 3, but she allowed him to get a picture. She allowed Prince Gaeson to get a picture and pretty much keep that with him anytime he feels he wants to look at his true self. In episode 4, we also saw that Prince Singnam, Grand Prince Singnam, he's the Grand Prince number 1. So meaning he's the Queen's second son. He figured out that his brother is sick and that his brother is in the Queen's chambers. So he set out to go find a doctor to heal the Grand Prince. I mean, the Crown Prince. And which he did, he found one, and this person gave him medicine to give to the crown prince. The crown prince was able to, recover for the birth of his second child. Also, in this episode, we saw that the three finalists, Prince Gason was one of the finalists as well, but his mom was like, it's okay if you drop out. So he dropped out, and we had Prince Ilsum, Prince Signum, Grand Prince Signum, and Prince Bogum. Prince Ilsum is the son of the first concubine, so the firstborn of the king. The person who ended up making it as the cohort is Prince Bogum, which I was happy that he did because I really like him and his mom. His mom brought someone in to tutor him in silent, but he was like, I want to do this the right way. I don't want to and plus I'm not interested in being the cohort. I just want to test my knowledge and see if I'm up to the crown prince, right? So he ended up winning, which I was happy for. With Prince Ilsum, I found out that the guy who earlier I said the guy who's trying to, there's a guy plotting with the concubine number one. That's because that's her father. So that's the prince's grandfather. So he's trying to get him to become king. And, he's giving the Queen Dowager pressure because when she needed him 20 years ago, he helped her. But now she doesn't want to, pick a side completely yet, right? So we're starting to see the plotting and the revenge sort of happening with the two of them. So this leads to the end of episode 4 when the crown prince made it. And, he witnessed, well, he didn't really witness, but he was there for the birth of his daughter. And when it was time for him and the prince, which is his cohort now, Prince Bogum, to recite a few things in front of the king, queen, and the scholars, the grand prince started throwing up blood. So we don't know if he's going to make it after that. That was the end of episode 4. So we'll find out in episode 5 if the crown prince makes it. Honestly, I really wanted him to make it because now killing his character off is just going to start a lot of drama now. And this wraps up our journey on the Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on the Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.